Welcome to ClickFunnels Radio, the podcast that brings you the latest strategies, insights, and success stories from online marketers just like you who utilize funnels to grow their business. Our mission is simple: to help you unleash the true potential of your online business by harnessing the power of funnels. Join us every week as we bring you exclusive interviews and thought-provoking discussions that will revolutionize the way you approach online marketing. Here are your hosts, Laura Demetrius and Chris Cameron.
Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels Radio. I'm Laura Demetrius, as always, joined by my co-host, Chris Cameron. Chris, how you doing?
Doing awesome. Hey, everybody.
All right. I am so excited. Today, we're joined by special guest, Andrea Peer. Andrea is a customer experience expert. She uses her proprietary method, journey crafting, to help clients create high-performing journeys that give great results. Really excited to talk about that. She's also a ClickFunnels ambassador and one of the brains behind Geek Out, a community of ClickFunnels 2.0 super users who want to learn everything there is to know about the platform and use it to its full abilities and potential. I met Andrea last year at Funnel Hacking Live, and it was after I'd reached out to her about interviewing her about using 2.0. So I'm really excited to bring her back today. She's an absolute rock star at all things ClickFunnels, and I'm so happy to have her here today. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, I'm excited to dig in. So can you just kind of start by giving us a little bit of background in what journey crafting is and how it came to be?
Yeah. So it's so interesting because journey crafting is still kind of a little bit of my it just started sprouting seed, but it has been planted over many, many, many years. So I spent 18 years in corporate America doing user experience research and design. And I was a super nerd in terms of just how people interacted with technology and how to create great products that people love and can adopt and use. And that is a larger field of user experience research. But then fast forward, I in full transparency, got myself fired because I ticked off a couple of the investors and I decided I never wanted to work for corporate America again. And so
a true entrepreneur.
Yes. And so when Russell did his bootstrapping award, I was like, just when I think I can't love you anymore, you're going to do it yourself. Because it's like just these threads of, the non-investor mentality is just, that's being so true to my heart. So I started the entrepreneurial path, and then I actually went down an agency path, and I thought that my user experience career was done. I was like, there's kind of no place for it here. I'm just going to go on building funnels and just come what may. I love you, user experience, but I don't know how you fit in this world. So I just started building funnels. And then honestly, when Geek Out was born, as I was going back through my timeline.
It started as an agency, right?
Yeah. So it started just as me, a solo agency. And then because I was out of the design hacker community, and Catherine was like, go find a way to make a pitch. So I put it in the ClickFunnels official group, actually, at that time. He said, I will build you a funnel for $400. Anybody in? And I had one person come in, and by just pure divine intervention, every single person that came to me, they wanted a membership build. And so what's really interesting is that with membership builds, it's very similar to product creation in the corporate world, because a customer has to come to it again and again and again. And it's not like a funnel where it's like a one-time thing. A membership build needs all of the user experience stuff that I used to do. And so I was like, but every time I started using the word user experience hacking, experience design, everyone's like, that doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? So that's when I started the journey crafting concept. And I was like, okay, what if I just talk customer journey? Because that's what it is. And so journey crafting. And so I started using my journey crafting framework in just my agency and testing it. And then I met Susan, who was like, what are you doing over there? I want to learn. And I'm like, I have this thing called journey crafting. So she used it and she brought it to her company, and then it was awesome. And then Funnel Hacking 2021 was when Russell introduced the big 2.0. And it was like her and I both, Susan and I, looked at each other across the room and we're like, what? Okay, how do we get on this? And it was fun. I actually, I looked back on our Facebook group today and I was like, when did we actually start it? Did we actually start it at Funnel Hacking Live? And it was 2021.
Oh, so cool.
On September 24th, on Friday, before we went home, we started the Geek Out group, the community. And we just thought, it was a bunch of people that were going to nerd out on 2.0, and I was going to like do my journey crafting thing, and she's going to run her agency. We had no idea it was going to explode into what it is today.
How many members do you have in that community right now?
We are so close. So we've had 2,100 people that have joined the community. We've had to let a couple of people go, but then we keep getting more. We get probably on average anywhere between, I don't know, sometimes 10, sometimes 20 a day. And so it has a pretty steady growth right now, which is just awesome.
I love that.
That's amazing. I'm in that group and I love it. Everybody's willing to share so much value and knowledge and education with one another. And it's a very positive community that you guys have created. I was going to ask, you already answered the question. I was thinking about what I wanted to ask, and it was kind of, how did you discover that there was a need for something like journey hacking? But you said yourself that like you made a pitch and people came to you and they told you exactly what they needed. And it's crazy that they all ended up needing the same thing. And it feels like a very organic process of how it all kind of started for you.
Well, so much. And I mean, even the journey crafting, like it was kind of like, I knew it was called that and I was doing it for my clients, but I didn't need to have a language necessarily around it because I wasn't teaching others it, So it was kind of just like, I'm going to keep my, like Smeagol, like precious UX, I can still do it.
One of the names, one of the names you use for it, like, do you put, what is Oradelphi? I've seen this. Is that specifically what journey crafting is? How does that correlate?
Oradelphi even comes before journey crafting. So Oradelphi was when I left my corporate gig. I used to just practice in a way and go to work because I'm kind of a machine sometimes when it comes to work. Like I have a really hard time turning it off and I go. And so when I came into my entrepreneurial journey, I was like, there are always bigger things happening, I think, when we bird these things. And it's really important to pay attention to that instead of just being, pure ego, like, I'm going to make it all happen, let's go. Yeah. And so there's this old Greek mythology, the Oracle of Delphi, and she sits on top of the pathos and she listens to the spirits and the sounds around her. And she speaks in tongue. And then the people who follow her, the monks, they transcribe the tongue to be able to tell what it is that is coming through. Right. And so for me, it was Oradelphi, because obviously Oracle of Delphi was way too long. I was like, I need marketing sexy. So Oradelphi was what I named my company, my first instance of my LLC, as just a reminder of like, there are such bigger things happening here than just getting stuff done that are so important to listen to. So
cool. I love that. I live for these little side stories, like these origin stories. And I think that that's really cool. And it's probably still kind of your mantra with everything that you do, right?
100%. I mean, that's the core of journey crafting is we get to be the guides and the people who get to sit right next to these entrepreneurs who are birthing these amazing things. And there's such bigger things happening than us building a funnel or running an agency that are just so important to tune into that. Yeah, it is definitely a mantra that is at the heartbeat of journey crafting.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about what's going on with like the Geek Out community and what kinds of things you're doing in there to provide value and get on these live calls that you guys are doing. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah. So I didn't know this at the time, but when Russell gave us and Todd gave us ClickFunnels 2.0 in 2021, that was definitely the beginning. But it wasn't until actually Funnel Hacking 2022 that the real gift of 2.0 came. And what I think a lot of people don't understand is that 2.0 isn't just the software. The linchpin model that Russell gave us is a fundamentally different way of doing business. And so I had been doing membership stuff all the time, right? And I'd been like, trying to talk about it with people, but nobody really cared about membership stuff, right? Like I have a course, I need a place to put my course. I have something, I need a place to put my something, right? But it wasn't until Linchpin and Russell starting to talk about continuity that all of a sudden, like this crack in the door happened, because the essence of a really great membership experience is continuity. It's not just revenue model. It's I can keep my customers in a constant flow with me and my content and what they're trying to do. That's the essence of continuity. And so for me, what he gave us was so much bigger than just the software of 2.0, but it was like a brand new framework that now I had a language to bridge and bring. I think journey crafting is the missing piece in the linchpin, and bringing those two together is to me the essence of continuity beyond just recurring revenue. So yeah, that was the essence of what we're doing now is we're essentially teaching people that framework.
I can't imagine what that was like when he was talking about linchpin and it kind of just like clicked for you that this applies to your business and the things that you're doing and how like massive that moment must have felt.
So much. Do you know, like in Harry Potter, how Miley's like, like that was me. I was like, oh my gosh. It was amazing.
That's perfect. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about the excitement build of people learning a lot more about linchpin coming up this Funnel Hacking Live. I don't want to give away too much, but one thing that I'm super excited about is to announce that you have been announced as an official speaker at Funnel Hacking Live. So is there any chance we can find out maybe a little bit about what you're going to be talking about?
Yeah. And to go on top of that, do we need to like introduce you as doctor?
Yeah, good point.
Because I don't know that people know this before you go. Like you have a PhD in human computer interaction. How cool is that? But anyways, go ahead and answer Laura's question.
I do. Well, okay. So first, no, you don't have to call me doctor. But I do have a PhD in human computer interaction. And I think that it's funny because when so my corporate gig, I used to pull out the doctor label whenever I was going into like the Microsofts and the Apples and the
I'd be
Googles
using it all the time.
Because I was talking to other researchers, and if you didn't have a doctor, you were kind of like not allowed in the room of, elites, whatever. But I think for me, because I spent 4 years in the military before I started my corporate journey, and I think the hierarchy that I saw there, it just didn't work for me. I just didn't like that hierarchy feel. I think all of us put our pants on the same way every day. And that connection is really important. And so when I came in, especially into the entrepreneur space, anytime that doctorate, it was almost like an alienating thing. It was it like had that same feel.
Interesting.
So it was like that title doesn't matter. Like it's getting in the way of us working together. So let's just work together. So I don't normally use it, but that's why.
Very cool.
We'd love to hear a little bit about what you're going to talk about, though. Would you mind giving us a little bit of preview or like sneak peek?
Yeah. So I was actually surprised when Russell asked me to talk about the topic he wants me to talk about. Because I had done that submission and I was talking about how there's these 6 experience models, and I would love to teach the ClickFunnels community about those 6 experience models to build great membership areas and continuity. But then when he came back, the ask was actually about how to run an agency, leveraging the linchpin and leveraging what I have done in 2CCX and with ClickFunnels. So good. And I was like, yes, because I was like, that's been my journey the whole time. The whole reason I've been able to do it is because of this agency that I have. And so, yes, I'm going to talk about the agency's journey and the phases of the agency owner's journey, and all of those agency or potential agency owners in the audience. That's who I want to speak to and help out, because
that's so
an incredible
cool
community to serve.
What I love about that too is you were kind of surprised by what he chose to be your topic after you probably had like this idea of what it was going to be like if you were chosen based on what you pitched. Yeah. And I think the really cool thing there is like, when Russell notices something in someone, or he has a really great idea for what you should be speaking on, like, don't ignore that. Like there's something there and it's going to be really, really powerful. And I think everyone in that room is going to be really excited about what you have to say.
Thank you. It was amazing.
This is what I love about linchpin though, right? And is you could do this about the different membership sites and communities, but linchpin applies equally to agencies, and a big chunk of ClickFunnels audience is agency owners, right? Or are agency owners.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about linchpin, and you're diving into this too, is I love as Russell does this. He's got like 12 companies right now. And this same model with MIFKE to continuity applies across the board. And I think he's cracked the code on like literally the small blueprint of what a successful company map needs to look like.
Yeah. I mean, especially because like if we're going to get into business together, the degree to which we have a shared language about a business strategy and a direction, or even a desired direction, I think is a direct reflection of how much we're going to be able to help each other out. Right. And Russell basically has like cleared the path for us. He's like, here's the blueprint, here's the language, here's the concept. So now it's like, you just get to dive into those worlds. And so when clients come to you and you come together, it's like, he's generated the desire and you've generated the expertise on how to carry out that plan. And it's like, oh, it's awesome. It's like, what a great gift.
And I'm so excited for FHL this year because I feel like every day I'm still learning something new about the linchpin model. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's going to be so much like synergy around this idea, and people are probably going to be like anxious to get back to their hotel rooms and like start funnel building and coming up with new ideas, because it is such a exciting new idea and framework for what people can do. And I know that that's just going to be like such a great theme for everybody. I can't wait for it.
I hope so. And I hope whatever that idea is that comes to them in that moment, similar to what happened with Susan and I hope that they don't leave Funnel Hacking Live until they actually like take the first step into that calling. Cause I never would have imagined that little Facebook group that was just going to be about people geeking out about 2.0. I seriously thought we would have like 10 people that I knew that we knew we wanted to go deep. And it's just, it's blossomed into so much more.
Yeah. And I certainly saw the potential power behind what you guys were doing, because when I joined that community, I was like, these are the people I want to be talking to. Like, as a somewhat new employee, and I had used ClickFunnels Classic previously for lead generation, I was like, there's so much to learn. And what better way than for people who are like doing the work, going through it, like using it every day, as a customer, but like building their business. And I have learned so much from you and Susan and Dan and Catherine. Like, you guys, it's an amazing community.
Thank you. Yeah. I remember the first time actually you reached out, Laura. I was like, there's somebody inside of ClickFunnels that wants to interview us, Susan.
We've been infiltrated.
You guys have been so good too to the brand and the community. I mean, gosh, we have, our affiliate team jumping in with Turner and Tyler. Like, there's so many cool things that are happening. One thing I noticed as you were talking about, you hope people don't leave Funnel Hacking Live until they're actually like implementing or have the game plan for this framework. If you're paying attention and you're following ClickFunnels Radio, one thing that Laura and I talk about all the time with all these guests, something happens, right? You just listen to Andrea. Something happens when you're at Funnel Hacking Live. Mm-hmm. A lot of times that is the catalyst. So if you have not gotten your Funnel Hacking Live ticket, now is the time to go to funnelhackinglive.com and get that, because that is where lives change. I could go through so many people, right, who have had life-changing experiences. And when you're in the hall at midnight, at 1 a.m., and you see people crafting and changing their businesses based on what is happening in real time. And it sounds like, Andrea, that happened with you and Susan too.
There's actually a little side story too that happened that exactly.
Let's hear it.
So at that year that they announced Funnel Hacking Live, and Susan and I made that connection. So this is a story I actually haven't told anyone yet. So I was sitting in the front row, and we had already decided we were going to form this group. And I had this weird feeling of like, go outside. And I'm like, okay. So I go outside and I walk back more. And I'm like, okay. And they, they have that private area, and like where the 2CX come in, and they're like, go there. Okay. He's like, keep going back. And I'm like, okay. So I keep going back. And there's this one man, and he's sitting on a couch. It's the very last couch. And it's like, sit next to that guy. And I was like, okay. So I sit next to the guy, and it's kind of this awkward, like, hey, and he's like, hi. And I was like, we strike up a conversation. So it turns out, the guy that Todd brought in to help him on the architecture of 2.0,
mm-hmm.
It was him. And I didn't know this. So he was like, what do you think about 2.0? And I was like, well, I think that if I was predicting something, it's a platform, not a service. And I think what ClickFunnels is doing is incredible. And he's like, that's a very interesting observation. What makes you think that? And we got to talking a little bit. And then I found out like, it's that architect. And like, it was in that moment that I was like, it was such a game changer. I was just like, they're investing in this. Like, I know this guy from Silicon Valley now. Like, it's just, wow. Like, it was just,
was it anyway. Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. And I had no idea. I was like, yeah. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, open API market, like Flap, like this is the place to be. So it was just like this I already was sold, but it was like, this is even bigger than people can even potentially comprehend at this moment of what they have done. Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. And still getting bigger. I mean, every deploy that goes out every day, like there's something new and exciting. And I know that there's a lot more to be released in the next couple months. And I'm so excited about what people are going to have access.
Laura and I get these updates constantly. We're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. But that is, I think, one thing also to share with the community too. And what you'll learn at Funnel Hacking Live, like so many things that Laura and I would just love to just shout from the rooftops right now. But what you will learn about where we are going and what we are doing is going to be phenomenal. Like, I truly mean this, the best is yet to come. And people like you, Andrea, in this community are what makes ClickFunnels so different than any other software or platform or anything out there. Is, you know, hey, sure, people can have features and benefits that are similar to ClickFunnels. All right. Can't argue that. We've been doing this 7 years, and yes, there's competitors out there, but I'll tell you one thing that nobody can or has been able to, and I don't think ever will be able to duplicate, is this community. 100%. This community and culture is something that really kind of supersedes everything. And more than that, it's this vision that people can get, and this belief and help from people like you and Susan, the rest of the what we call geeks, right? Mm-hmm. So it's phenomenal. I just want to extend a personal thank you, because it is communities that are attached to this community that make this exactly what it is.
Well, thank you. It pales in comparison to what ClickFunnels has done for us. So thank you. It's an honor to be able to do it.
That's incredible. And although we love to plug Funnel Hacking Live and the amazing things that people learn from it, I think the other really cool thing is you're finally in a room of people who think just like you. Like, you maybe like you feel a little different, and you're in a room of 5,000 people that feel the exact same way you do. And you go home with literal lifetime friends. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's really powerful too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, so much. I mean, and all of my clients, I mean, they start as clients, but all of them, I would call them friends. I sit with them at Funnel Hacking Live. I mean, it's an amazing community, and it brings people together in just these really unique, meaningful ways. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, we can't wait. We're a couple months out from this year's event, and I know that time's ticking. Like, there's a lot to plan, lots to do, but we're all so excited, and I can't wait to see you on stage. Thank you for being with us today. If you haven't already, again, go get your tickets at funnelhackinglive.com. We would all love to see you there and personally get to know you and hang out and be in the same room and get excited about all things Linchpin and all the things that all of these amazing speakers are going to be talking about. So we hope to see you there. And thanks again, Andrea, for being on the podcast with us today.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
Hey, Andrea, as parting, if people want to find you or get in touch with you, where are the best places for them to go online to find you?
Oh, yeah. So come on out to the Geek Out community on Facebook. So CF 2.0 Geek Out. We are there. That is the best place to connect with us and allow us to help you out with whatever you need.
Love it.
Great. Awesome. We hope to see you in there. It's a great group. Thanks. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.